Hello everybody, and today we're just going to be looking at one of the games that I played a little while ago with a couple of friends, and it's going to be a semi-carry Lina game. It's basically a guide on how to troll your friend who always picks Slark. So if you ever have trouble with that, and you're feeling quite reasonably confident, then it's quite a good thing to do. Right. So that is me on the Lina, that's my friend Zork on the Bristleback. He always plays Bristleback as well. He doesn't play that frequently, so he's just more interested in looking at the heroes that he knows. Not really, a little bit try-hardy I would guess, but still. And that is my friend Pitchwife on the Slark, my friend Fwiffle on the Legion Commander. That's going to be a Jungle Legion Commander as well. And this is a random clockwork here. And we decide that we are going to go Bristleback off lane, me with the Slark mid, and me with the Clockwork bottom. Bristleback is pretty good off lane. I did think that the Clockwork probably should have gone there, I think, but I'm not sure exactly. Up on the top lane, we've got a lone Druid, probably going to be jungling, I would guess. The Windrunner is going to be support. Pudge mid, Axe on the Stout Shield. Whatever, he's probably going to be more off lane, I would guess. Can't really remember. I played this game quite a few days ago, so my memory is a little bit hazy. Yeah, Pitchwife middle, he's going tangos, healing salves, and things like that, so that should deal with the Pudge reasonably well. And it's a sniper as well for their hard carry. Their lone druid can, of course, carry, but it's pretty difficult to get a full 12 build on a lone druid, and that is really what you need. Radiance Bear obviously still very useful. One thing to bear in mind is Radiance armlet on Bear is no longer sensible. The Bear does take the damage from that as well, and you don't want your Bear dying because that is 300 gold. Increase the amount of damage you take from that as well. Clockwork, I thought it would work quite well with the Lina, of course, because if he cogs someone in, then it's a reliable stun as well just before that ends for me. And I think that because the Clockwork is, he's not really a carry, I was like, right, we'll share the farm. I think I let him get quite a few early on, but my job mainly is just going to be harass out this Sniper. Sniper, pretty weak in the off lane, to be honest. Probably should have sent him up on top with the Windrunner and leave the Lone Druid for off lane because he can still CS reliably. Of course, if he's got the point and headshot, he can stay out of my range. The Clockwork throwing a little bit of Rocket Flare. Okay, I'll talk about Lina here. Her first ability is Dragon Slave. It's just a big... It's sort of like Dragon Knight's nuke as well. It's just a flat-out nuke in a... It's not quite a cone, it's a square in front of you, basically. It does a reasonable amount of damage. Light Strike Array is a delayed stun, so you need to lead the target with that one as well. I'm sure you'll see me gloriously missing quite a few of those throughout the game. It doesn't do that much damage until later on, but it's more useful for the stun. It's a 1.6 second stun, so it's not bad. It doesn't scale, of course, so it's not really worth leveling up too much in the early game. 1 point, and that one's usually enough. Fiery Soul is the reason that Lina can semi-carry. You wouldn't really think an agility could semi-carry, but with this, you can. It basically means that every time you cast a spell, she gets bonus move speed and attack speed. Up to 3 stacks, but you're not going to cast any more than 3 spells anyway because you've only got 3 spells. And her ultimate, of course, it's very similar to Lion's Finger of Death or a Dagon or something like that. You can throw one of those and it does quite a lot of damage. Dagenham Scepter takes up to, I think it's 1250 damage it does. But it's quite a big one. Cooldown a little bit better than the Finger of Death, but the damage not quite as good early on.
Dire's bottom tower
And what we won't get with Lina semi-carry is Phase Boots. She doesn't normally have that much mana problems because she does have a 3.2 int gain. So by the time you start wasting mana and things like that, then you do have quite a big mana pool. So it's pretty good. Out in top lane, the tower taking a little bit of damage. Bristleback doing okay here. He's got 4 last hits. Not going to be getting that much. The Windrunner can harass him out pretty effectively. On the mid lane, the Slark is not doing very good. He's only on 3-2. The Pudge is sitting on 14-6. Getting a little outlaned here. But he should still do okay. He will be able to kill the Pudge reasonably easy-ish. Pudge is going to pick himself a regen rune as well here. I'm just taking a little bit of last hits here. The Sniper has been pushed out quite a lot by my Dragon Slave. Because because that is a reasonable amount of damage. 170 damage, and it's a long, long range. And 170 damage is a fair portion of Sniper's health. He's a fairly squishy carry. That is his main flaw. Of course, one thing to note is Lina is, again, pretty squishy here. I managed to pick up my boots, so I'm a little bit faster. 345 movement speed is not that great. Clockwork's sitting 315 without boots, if that's any indication. They decided to switch lanes here a little bit. The Windman are coming in the off lane. She's a much better off lane than a Sniper. Sniper seems to be AFK here for the moment, actually. Wasting quite a lot of farm. A bit of a whiffed power shot there, maybe a couple of CS out of it, that's about it. Legion Commander doing pretty well, but of course these are jungle creeps, so they're not quite as big items. Picking up a Gloves of Haste, that'll probably be into a Power Treads, I would guess. Axe is... I think he's jungling, is he? Yeah, I think he's jungling. Yeah, he's jungling. So yeah, he's picked up a Tranquil Boots. Tranquil Boots on Axe is not great anymore, to be honest, because if you attack or take damage, then it gets off. So basically it's when you're standing around doing nothing, which is not what Axe does. Axe be manly, Axe be good. So what you want to do is maybe get Power Treads or Tranquil Boots. You don't really need Arcane Boots anymore either because of the lowered mana cost of the Culling Blade. And of course you're not going to be spamming Battle Hunger anymore because it's not quite as good. And it scales badly in the late game anyway, because people can last hit to get off the damage quite well. Slark picking on his boot in the mid lane here. He's got 3 points in Leap and 2 in Essence Shift, not going for the Dark Pact until, of course, until after you get level 6, because it does drain your own health. Which is, it's decent, but once you get your ultimate, of course, you can regen up your health. If you're ever scared, if you're sick of getting killed by Slarks, best thing you can do is go Bloodseeker. Because if you've got a Bloodseeker, you can always see him when he's low health, so he gets no Shadow Dance regen unless he actually uses the ultimate. And it's got quite a long cooldown these days, 65 seconds. Okay, so he's got his ult here. Misses a leap there on the Pudge, so he's not going to be able to get anything out of that. Leaping Pudge is a little bit risky because, of course, he can hook you. But he's used his hook now, so he might go for a leap here. Is he going to go for the leap? He manages to get himself a leap. And I managed to pick up the first blood there. I'm actually going to go back and see exactly what happened. Okay, so hang about here, and oh, Sniper's a bit low. They decided to go on the Clockwork, not the best target to go on, really. So I'll throw a little bit of damage there. The Clockwork managing to get a good bit there. The Fiery Soul managing to push me up a little bit in speed there, and I get my Phase Boot. I'll focus a little more on what I'm doing just now. I'm just setting up the idea. So Slark died to Pudge as well. The leap not working out for him there. It's unfortunate, the Dismember stopping him from doing all the damage. So I'm pretty low mana, but as you can see, I've got 1.7 at the moment. That's one disadvantage to going the Phase Boots is you're going to be a little bit low on mana for a bit. A bit of reaction here from the Sniper, but we decided to back off a little bit. In the jungle, Legion Commander's almost at 6, and we'll be looking for a gank as soon as she does. Pushing over here. Not sure exactly what I'm doing. Okay, I'm actually going to sit on player perspective for a little bit here. Player perspective. Okay, I'm going to go for relax mode casting. There we go. Start managing to get revenge on the Pudge there as well. So that's good for him.
Bad dudes, middle tower, everyone, go, now!
If Slark's keeping Pudge busy, it puts me in a much safer spot as well. As you can see, not bothering wards, you don't really have any really hard supports. I wasn't going to support in this game because I really couldn't be bothered. I was a little bit drunk when I was playing this, so I was deciding, screw it, I'm just going to semi-carry. Especially in a lane where I'm not supporting carry. So, I'm singing Clockwork here for some reason. Okay, sorry, I thought I was just taking my time. Okay, this is me just deciding where I'm going to go with the TP scroll. I decided to just go mid and soak up some of that experience while Slark is off doing his Slarky Slunk thing. Playing a bit of a Dragon Slave, see if I can maybe get a little bit of damage on the Sniper. As I said before, he is pretty squishy, so if you throw a couple of nukes on him, then it's going to be scary for him. Just about to pick up level 6 as well, or 300 experience pick up. And then from there, my Laguna Blade does 450, and Sniper has not much health, to be honest. So, a Dragon Slave, a couple of right clicks, and he will die, basically.
Denied.
Pudge managing to pick up
Dire's bottom tower is under
first back
attack.
there as well. But we trade for Windrunner on the bottom lane as well. Clockwork doing a pretty good job. Sorry, apologies for that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Can we pull Dire's bottom tower is under attack?
Managing to get a leg striker rate. As I said earlier, it is a timed ultimate there. Not got quite enough for my ult here. Not even anywhere really close. It is quite mana expensive. And this is where I make a mistake here. I miss with the light striker rate and decide to keep following anyway. Gives me sitting in disbelief. Not very happy. I think the Pitchwife, he is regenning away at the moment. We're just having a quick look at the requirements for that as well. First back doing pretty well in the off lane here, managing to pick up a kill on Lone Druid with the help of the Legion Commander. I'm not sure if that was a dual kill or not. Of course, I am single player perspective, so you're seeing exactly how I play. Which is not very well, for the most part.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So as you can see in the... Well, I'll have a look at the net worth actually, it's getting the stage down. The Lone Druid is doing pretty well. He's sitting on 3,400. I'm not sure if he went a Relic Rush, I think, on this game, if memory serves. There we go, Slark managing to get the kill, using the Laguna Blade on him when he's squishy and securing Pitchwife the kill. This is before I decided to be a douche and annoy Pitchwife a bit. He always plays Slark and bigs himself up the amount of kills he gets, but I decided to change that a little bit this game. Queue up Magic Wands here. There's going to be a reasonable amount of spells being cast with the Windrunner and the Axe and things like that. It's not going to be a huge amount, not as important as for the Dire to pick up but it is still going to be useful. A little bit of extra regen may mean the difference between getting a kill and dying myself if I've not got enough mana for a Laguna Blade, for example. And Laguna Blade is your main kill tool. If you're playing Lina in a serious fashion, then I would definitely recommend opening up with Laguna Blade. You don't need the kills anywhere near as much as, say, a carry or, well, basically any of the heroes here apart from maybe Clockwork to a lesser extent. So just open up with it, and then that'll put them in a bad spot, and that'll either force them back or in a less favourable position. Of course, it varies on a case-by-case basis, but as a general rule of thumb, then you would use it at the start of a fight. Because it is not good to kill steal. Slark picking up Sniper here. I'm going to go and have a wee look-see myself. Lina is pretty useful in the mid lane as well, because of course she's got that int game, and she can just spam spells. So she's pretty good. And of course you can do a reasonable amount of blast hits with the phase boots as well. You'd almost always want to go phase boots in the mid lane. I've got myself a double damage run here. I'm trying to juke the Pudge a little bit here, throwing in Dragon Slave, but I'm doing a great deal of damage at this stage. He decides to come back in for some reason, and Clockwork is there, and that should mean a Cogs. There we go. Managed to get a stun on him, and throwing the ultimate there. And I managed to get the kill, and also the Legion Commander managed to get the damage out of it as well. They're reacting here to try and defend for some reason. We're not going to be able to take that tower, obviously, because their tier 1 is still up, so it was maybe a little bit too much of a reaction.
Bad dude's top tower gonna fall over.
Slark in a bit of a bad spot here. He does not have his ult by the looks of things, so he's going to die. So I just decided to book it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Gonna hang around, I think, am I? Probably would have hang around to see if I can support the Clockwork there, should he get initiated on, but I did not this time.
Tower is under attack.
First back getting killed by Pudge there.
Bad dude's top tower gonna fall over.
Sorry, I spent quite a lot of time looking at base while I'm trying to walk there. Not using my phase boots because I'm an idiot mainly. Queuing up the Perseverance because I'm wanting to go a Bloodstone. Bloodstone is pretty good on Lina because that's even more regen. Managing to get the stun there, as well as the... Oh, not quite enough there to kill. Hitting reasonably hard and reasonably fast at this stage, but still not enough to kill a halting Lone Druid. Lone Druid played pretty well this game, I have to say, sitting top in the net worth. We are sitting quite far behind at the moment, and I was a bit panicking. But I'd say we do have a more balanced late game. Pudge does not scale very well, the Axe doesn't scale very well, Windrunner scales reasonably well. Managing to get something here, and there we go, it's a kill steal. And I think this is when I actually decided that I was just going to go and steal all of Slark's kills, because I thought it would be mildly funny. He's quite up for stealing mine, so I thought, as Lina, might as well. Especially when I'm going a semi-carry build as well. The gold's not wasted on a semi-carry Lina, of course. You can become pretty damn scary with it, to be honest. Picking up the Void Stone first, because I wanted the extra mana regen. I'm sitting at 4.4 at the moment, and that will get better with time as I get more and more intellect. Getting a leap there on the Lone Druid, and that should be a kill. With reacting there to try and help, throwing his press the attack there. Managing to pick up a stun on the Axe. I think I was more surprised than anyone about that one, actually. I just turned around and stunned. Slark managing to pick up that one. Still diving for this one. And there's a dual kill on the sniper. Have a quick look here at Fliffle and see how much damage he's sitting on. He's sitting on plus 30. He's got himself. He's going for armlet here as well. Why is it queuing up? By the way, the way you queue up items is you shift right click on the item and it'll put it down there. And that means it's nice and easy to buy on the fly if you're going to die or something like that. That's not. Oh, and I didn't know it. Yes, we still have no flying courier as well. That's something to point out. Bit of fail play from us. The Bristleback sitting, he's going for a Vanguard. He's got himself a Ring of Basilius, deal with some of his mana issues. He's only really got mana issues in the early game. He's got a pretty good int gain. Pretty ridiculous int gain for a strength hero. There's very few that do that. I mean, it's actually higher than strength gain. And his agility gain. Pudge disconnecting here. I think they were asking for a pause, but I don't think it happened.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe I'd use my pause.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I think we assumed it was maybe a rage quit or something like that, but based on their map, I don't think it was.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. Anyway, what to do? Yeah, I think we're waiting for a pause from them. We assumed that if there was no pause coming out from them, then he wasn't coming back. Maybe he said something, or he was stacked with them or something. Yep. We'll skip ahead a little bit. Speedy, speedy. Pudge did come back, so we managed to get an actually good game out of it. Show you the chat that was going on there. A little bit of trolling nonsense. Missing last hits like a boss on the mid lane here. Absolutely missing all of them. And decide that auto-attacking is a better way of getting last hits when you're as terrible as me. Okay. I suppose there's a regen rune there. I don't really need it, to be honest, but I decided to go and pick it up. One thing you can do is, if you're picking up a regen, or you're going to be getting some form of regen soon, or you're going to be attacking and you have enough mana, is if you cast off some of your spells just on the ground, then you can get your attack speed up as well. I don't think it paid off in this case, and I'm not even sure if it's this game that I did that in. But yes, anyway, if you do that, then you get your attack speed. The duration for this one is... I don't even know. Yeah, we disconnected again, unfortunately. Called Future Seeing. I try trying to be deep and meaningful as usual, and not getting there. Anyway, I'll fast forward to this a little bit. That was my terrible spelling. And Pudge reacts there as well. Leave it up to them to unpause, I think. Yep. Leave it up to them to unpause, just to make sure that the Pudge is actually back. throwing off one spell there. It's a reasonably small cooldown on that, so I can get maybe a little bit of an attack in. Nope. Throwing stun there in conjunction and managing to get myself a kill there. Ooh, that was a narrow miss there from the Pudge. Not quite getting the hook off. If he got the hook off, that would have been a guaranteed kill for him. Now I've got Perseverance, so my regen is pretty decent at the moment, 6.4 for health. So I should be able to get back in the fight with no problems at all. Especially because they seem to be turning and running. I'm hanging about just a little bit here, but I think we are going to go for it. Back throwing his goo there to get a little bit more damage. Absolutely ham bristle. Why is this sitting open? Anyway, as you can see, the net worths have changed considerably. We'll look at the gold graph here as well. It's sitting reasonably in our favour here. It's just over 5,000 17 minutes. It's quite a lot. The kills probably making up for quite a lot of that. Plus, also, it seems that people have been farming pretty reasonably. For my skill level, I'm only kind of mid-tier, sort of normal bracket. So, yeah. Use that as a frame of reference when you're watching this game. Throwing some spells here to try and get a little bit more damage on the tower, and I'm juking the Pudge as best I can. Probably should have kept them and tried to nuke the Pudge as soon as he arrived. A little bit of a waste of mana and a waste of cooldowns. I'm going to hang about here to see if he come down there. Nope. And Bristle is just going to run through the jungle. He's very, very tanky at this stage in the game, so shouldn't be a problem for him. The bristles, if you don't know how they work, it's basically you take less damage from the back. Here we go. You take 20% from the side, less from the side, and 40% less from the back, and that is on all damage forms. I'm pretty sure it works on pure damage as well. And of course, Russian. I do play in the European servers. My accent does not give it away. It's EU West, so we do get a lot of Russians. For anyone watching from America, then it's similar, I guess, to the problems you have with the Portuguese or the likes. I say problems, but you know, they do. Unfortunately, the minority do give it a bad name to many. Going at the bottom lane here to pick up a energy booster to give myself a little bit larger mana pool. I probably should have picked up a point booster, to be honest, because it is a more valuable item in all forms. It is 250 mana out of this one, and you get 150 and 200 health, so it is overall a bit better to pick up the point booster first. A bit late on the Bloodstone here, to be honest. I've only got 28 last hits, so I'm mainly focusing on team fighting and man fighting. I'll look at Bristle, he's usually in the forefront. And that's a dual kill there on the Pudge. Cog's a little bit unnecessary there, but they still managed to use them anyway. Sitting on 2.3k gold. He normally likes to go for AC or Mjolnir on Bristleback. Turns him into more of a carry role than a tank. Heart Tarrasque is also a very good option. But he is actually going to go for a cloak. Not want to deal with the... There's not a great deal of magic damage actually on the dire side here, but still, nice item to pick up. If you can pick up the Pipe of Insight, then it is quite nice. Another buff for your team. It turns you into a semi-support rather than a carry. As you can see, still no Flying Courier. I should have bought it, but I didn't because I was playing greedy mode Dota. There we go. I am buying the Flying Courier. I just noticed that there. A little bit of complaints there from my team, obviously, in a jokey form. We were all communicating on Skype as well. Pitch taking a bit of the damage here from that bear, a little bit of an unlucky entangle. It's definitely worth. It's almost worth farming the bear over some heroes sometimes because you can actually get more gold out of it. It's 300 gold you get out of that, but as you can see, 272 for the sniper. And yes, this is me stealing kills from the Slark, just because I wanted to be a douche. I do a little bit worse things later on. Please don't do this in your games unless you're stacked with your friends, and it's funny.
Dire's top tower is under attack. dude's top is all nasty and broken.
Most of the games that I will be casting, it's solo games. I am probably the biggest Dota addict out of my friends, recently anyway. Most of them are playing other things at the moment, but I do very much enjoy playing with my friends. It's so much better. If you have any friends that you can maybe get interested in Dota, then definitely do it, because it is worth it. It makes it much more fun, and you do win more games on average because communication is so important in this game. We did have 4 men on Skype for this, so it's nice and easy. Lone Druid dropping back quite a bit in the farm here as well, having some trouble, just mainly having to evade us as much as he can. Lone Druid is sitting on 2-2-2 with 87 last hits, not doing too great. I'm sitting on 5-1-3, only probably 1 or 2 of those were by my own devices, the rest of them have just been stolen from Pitchwife. But hey, he doesn't need the farm, he's doing well enough as it is. You can pretty much almost clear a creep wave with a combo there. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can clear a creep wave when you've maxed out your Light Strike array. Of course, I haven't at the moment. It is one of the worst skills for Lina. And I'm going to pick up my Bloodstone here as well. One thing you can do with Lina if you're looking for a bit more mana regen is pick up an Arcane Boots early in the laning phase. Use that early on while your mana regen is still low, then disassemble it, get your Arcane Orb back. Throwing my spells here to get more attack speed here, and then pick up your phase boots later. It does set you back a little bit in terms of your movement speed and your last hitting and things like that, but if you're playing mainly a sort of ganky role, then it can be okay. It depends entirely on the situation. Like, it's very good if you're playing against an anti-mage or something like that, someone that will capitalize on your lack of mana, then it's pretty good to go for that. Or, say, a lion that's going to be stealing your mana.
Top tower is under attack. We're detecting high levels of sarcasity, Captain.
Okay. Pushing up the mid lane here, feeling reasonably safe. We decided to go down on the Pudge down here. Pudge has not been having that great a game, to be honest. We've been fairly feeding on him. Delicious, delicious man flesh of Pudge. Getting dual kill here, and I steal a kill again. Just to make sure that Pitchwife wasn't going to get that one. Fluffle might have got it, but you know, you need to be sure of these things. My team were completely aware that I was doing this, and I was making it quite obvious to them. Just a little bit of troll. And Russian Pudge says something. Try and kill the bear. Kitty, kitty bear. I think you'll see in a minute, the bear is worth a considerable bounty these days as well. Yeah. Next item on the list would be a Desolator. Desolator is pretty good, of course, because you've got the attack speed on top of that, and it's a nice damage item as well. You kind of go for other damage items, like, I imagine MKB would be pretty good. It all depends. I think I might toy with Mjolnir actually at some point on Lina. That's even more attack speed. Dropping the Light Strike array to stop the ult there. And speaking of ults, I steal the kill on Pudge. Don't want to throw too much damage on the axe, but I waited a little bit too long there and completely whiffed. Picking up the Mithril Hammer here for a little bit of extra damage. And this is just going to be getting a 25-minute Rax, which is pretty good going, I would have to say. Legion Commander also picking up a Deso. Fortunately, didn't know that. If I'd known that, I probably would have went with a different item. Maybe straight into Aghanims or something like that. Before absolutely manning up here. Using the armlet toggle to get more mana and more health back there. Not quite getting the sniper there. I didn't think I was going to get any damage. Using the Dire Fountain to pick up my items, you can do that, yes indeed. And it is something to do if you do feel safe enough. Probably wasn't actually safe going there with a Pudge, but at this stage of the game I was just kind of messing around a little bit. Before armlet toggling there. Oh, but he is going to die. He does have the Aegis, so it's not going to end up being too bad for him. An 11 stack Bloodstone, so I've got a huge amount of mana regen at the moment. And it will only get worse, because I don't think I'm going to die a huge amount here. And that, oh, not quite going for the steal there. I was thinking about using my ult there on the bear, but I didn't have quite enough mana. before ending up getting killed here. And I die as well. Unfortunate.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Picking up a TP scroll, getting straight back into action, going to take the middle racks now, if possible. Of course, we don't have Legion or Clock. There's not been a huge amount of really game-changing Clock initiations as far as I've seen. Of course, I was more interested in my own Fang this game. Bloodstone, by the way that it works is you've got your stacks here. You'll lose stacks every time you die, which means lower regen and things like that. It's a bit of a snowballing item. Only really get it if you're feeling very confident that you can get kills or assists or something like that. Because if not, it just ends up as a very, very, very expensive Void Stone, which is not ideal. Trust on the bear there to try and kill it, but not going to be able to get it. They're acting quite heavily there, here, so I'm going to back off. In the phase boots, but turning around to clear the quick wave a little bit. Woodka is there, and he's going to go for a hook, but he's going to miss, unfortunately. I'm not sure if I've seen that one coming or not. And here comes Bristleback. Not going to engage at this stage. And there we go. Absolutely sick bait. I'm going to die. Unfortunately, I'm only dead for 18 seconds because, of course, the Bloodstone down to 5 stacks. Pudge manages to commit suicide, which is exactly what I should have done, but I did not. Ah, there we go. It was a lag issue, apparently. Either that or I was just making excuses. As sometimes happens. Now the TP scroll, go straight back up the mid lane. All the other waves are pushed pretty significantly, so you don't need to worry about those. All these deaths and things like that are really set back my my Desolator. But it doesn't really matter at this stage of the game. We're pretty much going to win this. I'll have the gold graphs here. We are 20,000 in the lead. There's not really any comeback. They've not even been farming well enough to be able to come back and counter for our early game advantage. Their carries are decent. We didn't really have any really mega carries. It was mostly semis. So. A little bit inter-team troll there. Petrified getting a little bit of troll on there. Yeah, Legion Commander sitting on the Shadow Blade for initiation. You're better going. Your choice is really for Legion Commander now, since people know how to deal with them, and just to absolutely leg it if you're solo. You're better with a Shadow Blade or a Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger is a little bit better for utility, but the Shadow Blade, of course, you get the attack speed out of that as well, so that is a bit of an advantage. Pitchwife going in here for the manly kill, but the kill steal, the absolutely manly kill steal from Lina there. Don't want to throw too much on the axe there, but I'm still going to take another kill. Just a right-click kill, so that one wasn't too bad. And managing to save Bristleback here with Light Strike Array to try and stop the bear and the bigger bear. I've got myself the Desolator at the moment. And I have a look, and the courier, let me see, what has the courier got? This is me microing the courier. I noticed that the courier, of course, has... Oh, you can't actually select courier. Oh well, anyway, the courier is sitting with a basher, and is basher for Slark. So manly courier decides to go and suicide. A little bit more troll at this point in the game. It's pretty much over. So I just wanted to troll the Slark a little bit harder. Damaging myself a little bit, because of course I could have done with my Desolator, but I really care. Sitting on 936 at the moment, so that's not too bad. I look at the Zicadier. Slark sitting on 10-2-13. And Clockwork sitting on 659, which is pretty decent, and the Legion Commander sitting on 659 as well. He's got... Why you not change? Yep, he's sitting on 132 dual victory damage, so that's pretty good. For 30 minutes in the game, that's not too bad at all. Just having a look at the KDA and see how it's going. Is that for just now? Yep. And Daedalus next, because more damage. Wait. One thing that might be quite useful on a theory crafting course at the moment. Oh, feeding Pudge, a little bit of damage there. I'm not able to quite pick him off. I'm getting greedy, and I got entangled. So unfortunately not able to get that one. Very greedy play from me there. So Pudge manages to get the kill, but yeah, absolutely fail steal. The Clockwork managing to come in there and counter hook. And Bristleback absolutely manning up with his AC, and he should be able to have no problem getting this air kill here. Again, not doing so great since my Bloodstone came off thing. You are probably better going just a standard build with Lina, but I just thought I'd do something a little bit more fun since I was getting a little farm. Could have done me just hard supporting, would have win this game a lot harder if I had, but quite frankly, sick of supporting.
Middle tower, everyone, go now!
Especially in the rank queue, I've found recently that every time I support, we lose. It may be because of my bad carry, I don't know. My bad supporting, but I'm leaning more towards the rest of my team didn't do so well, so I like to take a little more responsibility in there, and I do tend to win more when I do play more of a snowballing mid-hero, which is usually my bag. Been learning carry more recently as well. Things like anti-mage and things like that. I do believe I posted an anti-mage video a couple of days ago, so if you go and have a look at that, it's me doing a replay cast of the anti-mage game, focusing more on what the other players in the team were doing, because on anti-mage basically you farm and it's not very exciting, so I focus on what the rest of the team were doing for quite a bit of that. I'm going to stun the bear, not managing to steal the kill from the Legion Commander, but still managing to get the kill regardless. And I get myself killed by... Oh no, I suicide there just because I was certain of my death. So, 3 seconds left on the Shadow Blade here. So, and there we go, Shadow Blade. And he's not going to be able to escape, unfortunately, because you do not disjoint the Assassinate when you go invisible, unfortunately.
Why is this so bloody difficult?
Probably sitting on a decent amount of money at the moment. You'd probably be going for or something like that at this stage. Not really sure. Legion Commander is something I've avoided because it's a new hero and everyone else first picks it. Yep, I'm going to go for an Aghanims now for even more stealing power. That should... what am I doing? Aghanims Scepter on Lina does... Yeah, it just increases the damage. Up to 1250, puts it in line with the...
Going from bad to worse, now the bad dude's middle racks is getting shafted.
Throwing a bit of a stun there on the axe, and it should be a kill. Steal. Absolute steal from the Slark there, so no problem. Double steal. He was not happy about that one, he was hoping to get at least one. Axe not happy about me doing it either. Supporting the Slark's cause. Again, disclaimer, do not do this in real games, especially when you're not stacked with your friends. Especially when you're not doing that. Just letting them know what my game plan is. At this stage, it's probably pretty obvious. Second 2k, so I should be able to pick up my Ogre Club, and next I'll pick up the Point Booster, I would think. Not quite in range there for the alt steal, but oh well. Throwing the alt the bear because I wanted the 300. Clockwork managing to take that one before I could steal that one. Lina and Lion, things like that, very good for kill stealing if you're so want to do that. If you have a decent start, of course. And if you can get enough. Bottom. And the Blundered not happy about the Slark managing to get so many kills. And that was the end of the game. That was basically a Idiot's Guide to Trolling with Lina. Not that trolly, but, you know. Also, the semi-carry build, as I said, just go for solid attack damage and maybe get an orb or something like that to synergize well with the extra damage. You can pick up an Aghanims later on in the game as well, and it'll work out pretty well, or you can do it the other way around. Either way. But yep, important parts for our phase boots and phase boots and your bloodstone. If you get your bloodstone, you can spam your spells, and that will mean that you can get more attack speed more easily. Because if you're on a mana, you're not going to get your attack speed, and that basically defeats the purpose of the hero. Yep, didn't manage to get my Aghanims, so didn't manage to steal more, but as you see, I ended up in 11-5. Didn't quite manage beating Slark. He is able to get kills much more quickly than I can. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. If you like. If you want to comment. If you want a game cast, then leave me a comment, and I will do it for you. Leave me a comment or send me a private message or something like that. And also, I would appreciate it if you subscribe, if you like my videos. Thank you very much, and I shall see you next time.